On this edition of Lexington Now, Clean Slate, part one of Mayor Gorton's budget address, and a literary celebration. I'm Neil Noah. Welcome to Lexington Now for the week of April 21st, 2025. Lexington's next Clean Slate event was announced by Mayor Gorton and other city officials.
Our Clean Slate Lexington expungement clinics have been a beacon of hope and transformation for many in our community. These clinics have helped people get back on their feet by getting misdemeanors and low-level, nonviolent offenses expunged from their records. They can also obtain basic but critical resources that open doors to new opportunities. Residents are given opportunities to pursue better housing, educational advancement, and ability to vote, as well as access to a good-paying job. I am a firm believer in second chances, and expungement provides exactly that.
To date, we've held 5 Clean Slate expungement clinics and job fairs where Lexington residents have the opportunity to get a free copy of their background check, meet with attorneys to create an expungement plan, and connect with employers and community resource partners to get the services they need to be more successful in our community. To date, this initiative has helped over 1,800 individuals receive expungement-related services and advice. This is going to be our 6th event, and over the years, I've witnessed the incredible transformations of the people that have attended this event. I've seen the spark of hope rekindle in their eyes. They had believed they'd run out of chances. I've seen potential reawaken and dreams unlocked just at knowing of the power of having their expungement, having their criminal record expunged.
Earlier this year, we conducted an email survey of the clients that we assisted with expungement in 2024. And we had a 35% response rate on the survey, which, if you know anything about surveys, that's a pretty significant response. Many of those folks that we had surveyed had come through previous Lexington Clean Slate events. So I just want to give you just a few details from that survey. So 85% of the respondents reported feeling more confident and less stressed and experienced improved mental health and self-esteem after getting their records expunged. 65% reported more job opportunities. 43% secured a job they couldn't previously apply for. 20% secured new housing more easily, and 13% were able to get into public housing. 24% reported being enrolled in or they had applied for educational programs that were unavailable to them before. These incredible survey results reinforce the fact that expungement is life-changing for many, many folks.
The expungement opportunities for returning citizens from incarceration is invaluable. It helps with not only employment, it helps with housing, it helps with financial services, and it removes barriers for people that are released from incarceration to our community. Individuals that have paid their debt to society and have met the legal requirements for expungement based on their convictions and the amount of time deserve a second chance and a clean slate. A clean slate provides opportunities for people that return to the community from incarceration or if they're on probation and parole supervision to allow them the opportunity to contribute to the workforce of the Commonwealth, as well as obtain opportunities such as financial assistance, education assistance, and housing assistance as well as other barriers that people face with a conviction on their criminal record.
This event is dedicated to creating meaningful second chance opportunities through employment, support services, and community partnerships. Each year that we host this event, it's another step forward to show how we value second chances and how we build stronger, more compassionate communities together. Every day, individuals are returned home from incarceration, whether it's been for one day or many years, and with that, they carry with them hope, resilience, and the desire to contribute, but far too often they are met with closed opportunities. But here in Lexington, we're here to say to those individuals that we're here to help you. Everyone deserves a second chance, and sometimes all it takes is the right opportunity. The Job and Resource Fair is designed specifically to connect individuals with what they need to rebuild, such as employment opportunities, community resources, mental health and substance abuse youth services, legal support, education and training, and so much more.
Mayor Gorton gave the city's annual budget address this past week. We will be bringing you highlights from her address in the weeks leading up to the adoption of the city's budget. We begin with Mayor Gorton's introductory remarks.
250 years ago, in the earliest days of our community, the explorers camping at McConnell Springs looked past the fact that there was no navigable water nearby when they founded Lexington. That 1775 decision has always been a key factor shaping our economy. From that day forward, our economy and our history have been intertwined. The strong, diversified economy we enjoy today is the result of decisions we have made throughout history. Our economic roots run deep in agriculture, education, healthcare, and in keeping ourselves at the forefront of technology, all still important factors in today's economy. Just as history has shaped our economy, it has shaped the budget I'm presenting today. The decision our community made over 50 years ago to merge our city and county governments continues to help us use public resources wisely and efficiently. At its core, the decision to merge our local governments was all about efficiency. Largely because we have maintained a continuing focus on efficiency, we are considered one of the best managed cities in the country. As mayor, management of our city's finances is one of my most important responsibilities. I'm determined to keep our ship of state on a steady course, continuing to provide excellent services to all of our residents, keeping our cost of living low and investing in quality of life, while responsibly managing our financial resources. Staying the course of responsible fiscal management has brought our community through the significant economic challenges of recent years, mainly brought on by the pandemic, and it will also get us through this year. The $539.2 million general fund budget I am presenting to you today was challenging to put together. This year, although we are projecting revenue growth at a healthy 5.6%, we know our expenses are growing at 9%. In other words, our costs are increasing faster than our revenue. That's largely due to employee costs that are increasing in government, as they are across all workforce sectors, and to the significant impact of inflation on increased cost of materials and contracts. Beyond the general fund, which is funded primarily by the payroll tax and business net profits tax, our complete budget totals $832.6 million. It includes funds from property taxes, state road funds, and several dedicated fees that pay for garbage collection, sewer operations, the landfill, recycling, and other government services. The general fund budget has some flexibility. The dedicated fees are for specific purposes. A sizable portion of what the local government does in the general fund is subsidized by federal grants, and there is considerable uncertainty surrounding those grants right now. Just as there's uncertainty concerning the impact of tariffs on prices and on our economy. Like all cities, we still don't have quite enough information to do a thorough analysis of the unfolding changes every day at the federal level, but we have assessed exactly our areas of concern in our budget, and we are prepared should changes come. In addition, this is the first year since 2020, the pandemic, without any funding from the Federal American Rescue Plan Act, which helped us recover from the serious impact COVID-19 had on our economy. Despite those hurdles, we've compiled a general fund budget that is balanced and includes numerous improvements for Lexington. My talented budget team helped me put this budget together. I really appreciate the work of our Commissioner of Finance, Aaron Hensley, Chief Administrative Officer, Sally Hamilton, Chief of Staff, Tyler Scott, Director of Budgeting, Melissa Luker, Director of Revenue, Wesley Holbrook, Deputy Director of Finance, Ashley Lawrence Simpson, Budget Officer Elizabeth McGee, and many others. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your hard work. In this budget, I have included $47 million in general capital projects. I've also limited our new bonding to $18 million, the smallest new debt package that we have proposed since 2020, when the global pandemic's uncertainty forced us to make drastic cutbacks. Like cutting back on family credit cards, smaller bond packages mean less debt service, lower interest payments. Most importantly, our strategic belt tightening makes room for this budget to make solid progress for our city. We are able to maintain the excellent services that our residents demand, fund new initiatives, invest in quality of life, and look to the future by exploring cost-saving approaches through technology. Before I talk about some specifics in this budget, I want to mention the important contributions that council members have made to this. As I put together my budget, I always meet with each council member to listen to their spending priorities, and those meetings were especially fruitful this year. Council members came in with some great ideas, including improving sidewalk connectivity, increasing programming in community centers, updating our Parks Master Plan, and funding the court-appointed Special Advocate, or CASA program, at a higher level. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your help.
When we come back, a literary celebration of Lexington.
Hi, everyone. Here it is, April. Spring has sprung and our 250th anniversary celebration continues. This month, we are celebrating all things music and the written word. From writers and poets to musicians and performers, we've got it all. Take part in celebrations of our literary community with writers known across all America. Over 25 different venues await you in April to help celebrate our first ever one-of-a-kind month of music. There is truly something for everyone. For more information, visit www.250lex.com.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Chris Van Brackle with the Lexington Police Department Traffic Unit. Today we are talking about disability accessible parking and the aisles between those parking places. Accessible parking is a valuable and necessary resource for people with disabilities, and that includes the striped area next to accessible parking spots. These are access aisles, and it is illegal to park here, even if you have an accessible parking permit. Police and LexPark will write tickets when they see vehicles parked in an access aisle or parked in an accessible space without a placard, and the fine is $250. Know where and where not to park. Keep the access aisles clear. Thank you, and drive safe.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Lexington's 250-year commemoration continued recently with the literary celebration at the Kentucky Theater. Here are some highlights.
I hope you are as excited as I am about celebrating our literary legacy tonight. As everyone by now is well aware, we are in our fourth month celebrating Lexington's 250th birthday. Yes, and this month we are focused on music and the written word. I am so excited about this month. I love music, and writing is particularly important to me. As a young student, I was introduced by an English teacher to journaling. Each day we had to write something in our journals. And I've continued this practice throughout my life because I loved it, including keeping journals during overseas travel with my husband while he was active duty in the Army. And then many years ago, when our children were young, I taught a creative writing class at Glendover Elementary School as a volunteer teacher. You know how that goes when you're a parent. It was so much fun working with students to engage their creativity in writing. We were lucky enough to have former Kentucky Poet Laureate George Ella Lyon come to the class one day. She demonstrated using a storyboard to bring the story and the illustrations together for the students. I still like creative writing, both prose and poetry. And you never know, someday you might find a mystery novel titled Murder in the Council Chamber. Sounds good, right? I always have a stack of books to read when I have a few extra minutes. And my passion for writing and reading led me to be part of the committee that formed the Kentucky Writers Hall of Fame. Literature and the written word have a rich history right here in Lexington. Once known as the Athens of the West, Lexington has long been a hub for writers of all types. And tonight, we get to hear the words of several of these great writers.
Again, we are so excited about all of the upcoming events for the rest of the year. And in April, we are eager to continue sharing the talents of our literary and written word artists. For a full list of things to do the rest of this year, visit 250lex.com.
National Book Award, the Pulitzer Prize, National Book Critics Circle Award, the NAACP Image Award, the Duggins Prize. These are just a few national awards received by Lexington authors for their outstanding literary works. Why does Kentucky have so many talented writers? One reason is Lexington's top-notch writing programs, which impact thousands of people every year. Writing isn't easy, and it's a competitive market. To achieve the level of success our local authors have takes a dash of luck and a tremendous amount of skill and talent. I also know that while I may never receive national awards, the dream of having a novel published is not impossible. Writing is a journey. There are ups and downs, plot twists and anti-heroes, days when the writing flows and others when it doesn't. As we celebrate this literary month, I encourage you to consider the stories you have within you, and if you're driven, to write them down and put them on the page. Begin the journey. If you do, know that Lexington's supportive literary community will be there to cheer you on every step of the way.
There's a busy week of live meeting coverage ahead on Lex TV and streaming online. And remember, you can also find the most up-to-date information on non-televised city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on X at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.